to Comfort TV.channel news, bringing you verified and balanced news from Nigeria and around the world. My name is Faith Kevin. Thank you for joining us again. In the headlines, Interpol nabs Nigeria in Argentina over multiple romance scams. Property owners petition President Tinubu over Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway demolition. Senate President Akpabio swears in new senators. Federal government begins final phase of negotiations with ASU. NMA panel reports stalls Nnamdi Kanu'S trial, and NRC condemns vandalism of signaling equipment on Lagos-Ibadan rail corridor. On business news, rail revenue rises 37.36%, 2.72 billion naira in Q1 25, and non-interest capital market now worth 1.6 trillion naira. On the foreign scene, EU's von der Leyen accuses Russia of hybrid warfare campaign. 6 killed in firecracker factory fire in southern India. And on sports, European Club Association rebrands as European Football Clubs. Bolton boxer Aslam returns to the ring with win in Nigeria. Now the news. A Nigerian national identified as Kanu'S has been arrested in Argentina for allegedly orchestrating a sophisticated web of online romance scams that defrauded thousands of unsuspecting victims across several countries. The arrest, which took place after months of coordinated intelligence gathering and surveillance, was conducted under Operation Jackal, a global crackdown spearheaded by Interpol in collaboration with local and international law enforcement agencies. The operation specifically targets West African organized criminal networks involved in cyber fraud, money laundering, human trafficking, and other transnational crimes. According to a statement released by Interpol, Kanu'S is believed to have played a central role in coordinating fraudulent schemes that preyed on vulnerable individuals through social media and dating platforms. The victims, often lured into emotional relationships online, were deceived into sending large sums of money under false pretenses such as fake business investments, medical emergencies, or travel expenses. Investigators revealed that the suspect operated through a complex network of accomplices spread across multiple countries using cryptocurrency wallets, false identities, and sophisticated money laundering channels to conceal the illicit proceeds. Digital forensics experts traced several online accounts and transactions directly linked to him, leading to his eventual capture in Buenos Aires. Interpol noted that the arrest marks a significant victory in the global fight against cyber-enabled financial crime, which has seen a sharp increase in recent years. Authorities are currently working with Nigerian and Argentine forces to ensure that all involved parties are brought to justice, while efforts continue to identify and recover assets obtained through fraudulent means. Interpol is also urged the public to remain vigilant against online scams, emphasizing the importance of verifying online relationships and avoiding sharing personal and financial information with strangers. Owners of demolished property within the Win Homes estate located across the Lagos end of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway have petitioned President Bola Tinubu over what they describe as the reckless and damaging conduct of the Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi. In a letter addressed to the President, the company's chief executive, a United States citizen who is also a Nigerian diaspora investor, Engineer Stella Okengu, alleged that the minister's conduct and utterances with respect to the demolition of the estate were capable of scaring away genuine investors. According to her, the minister had repeatedly invoked the president's name in a matter that is already before a court of competent jurisdiction. A conduct, she said, is improper, dangerous, and exposes the esteemed office of the president to unnecessary domestic and international controversies. The Win Homes chief executive explained that the project, conceived in 2021, was designed as a tourism-led development model aimed at inspiring diaspora Nigerians to reinvest in their homeland. She further stated that hundreds of investors, most of whom lived abroad, had subscribed. The project, she stated, sits on 20 hectares of legally acquired land in Lagos, with 3 valid titles and 2,500 fully serviced plots, each valued at 150 million naira. Engineer Okengu disclosed that the total value of the project stood at 375 billion naira, approximately $250 million, representing one of the largest diaspora-backed real estate investments in the country. She, however, explained that the diversion of the Coastal Highway project has already already affected 400 plots valued at 60 billion naira, while cumulative damages and infrastructural losses are estimated at 85 billion naira. The Senate swore in two senators on Wednesday, Joseph Ikpea for Edo Central and Emmanuel Nwachukwu as senator for Anambra South. The swearing-in of Senators Ikpea and Nwachukwu followed the by-election conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to fill the vacant seats in the two senatorial districts. Recall that INEC had declared the Edo Central senatorial seat vacant following the election of the former occupier, Senator Monday Okpebolo, who is now the governor of the state, and this led to the emergence of Senator Ikpea to replace him. On the other hand, the death of Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, who represented Anambra South in the Senate, necessitated the conduct of a by-election which was contested by 12 political parties on August 16. With this development, APC senators will now be 71, PDP 28, Labour Party 5, NNPP 1, SDP 2, and APGA 2, a total of 109. In his remarks, the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, who congratulated them, said that the Senate is a family of the most elite club in the world, just as he welcomed them to the club. He urged the new senators to remain focused and do things that will make the country great, saying that they are senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and no longer carrying the name of their parties. Senator Akpabio urged them to study the 1999 Constitution and the Senate standing orders as amended in 2023 properly. Present at the hallowed chambers to witness the swearing-in ceremony were former Governor of Delta State, Chief James Ibori, and former Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shuaibu. The federal government says it has commenced the final phase of negotiations with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and other tertiary education unions. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, disclosed this in Abuja on Wednesday during a meeting of the Technical Working Group on Conditions of Service of ASU. Dr. Alausa expressed optimism that outstanding issues would soon be resolved to prevent further industrial action. He said the group was finalizing a counter-offer to be presented to the unions through the Allied General United Federal Government Tertiary Institutions Negotiations Committee. According to him, the committee's work aligns with President Bola Tinubu's directive that all efforts must be made to keep Nigerian students in school and avoid disruptions to the academic calendar. The minister noted that about 80% of the union's demands were similar across tertiary institutions, with the remaining 20% reflecting sector-specific concerns. He said that the committee, inaugurated earlier in the week, had begun intensive deliberations to fast-track agreements and implementation timeline. The minister added that this present administration has made significant progress already with the payment of the earned academic allowance of 50 billion naira released by President Tinubu. He also confirmed that promotion arrears and other outstanding allowances, including teaching and wage awards, had been addressed, while all remaining areas will be cleared by 2026. Reiterating the government's commitment to mutual respect and sustainable solutions, he appealed to academic and non-academic unions to exercise patience and avoid strikes as a first resort. Dr. Alausa added that for the first time, the Solicitor General of the Federation and officials of the Ministry of Justice were directly involved in the negotiation process. This move, he said, was aimed at ensuring legal soundness and enforceability of all agreements reached. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Wednesday adjourned further proceedings in the terrorism charge pending against the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, till October 16. The adjournment followed the inability of the Nigerian Medical Association (NMA) to conclude and submit before the court its findings on the health status of the defendant. Trial Justice James Omotosho had on September 26 ordered the NMA, which is the umbrella body of the medical practitioners in the country, to constitute a team of experts to ascertain Kanu's health condition. The order came after the court dismissed a no-case submission the embattled IPOB leader filed to be discharged and acquitted of the 7-count charge the federal government preferred against him. The court gave the medical body 8 days to submit its assessment report on Kanu's health before it. The report report, the court said, will assist it in determining whether or not it should grant Kanu'S request to be transferred to the National Hospital in Abuja for adequate medical attention. Specifically, Justice Omotosho directed NMA's team to visit the medical facility of the Department of State Services (DSS), which has Kanu in its custody, to confirm if it has the capacity to meet his health needs. He held that the NMA committee was at liberty to use any hospital in the country to carry out its investigations. The committee, the court said, should comprise 8 to 10 medical practitioners, among whom should be a cardiologist and a neurologist. More so, the court ordered that the chief medical director of the National Hospital must also be a member of the committee. Meanwhile, when the case was called up on Wednesday, a counsel from the DSS, Mr. Suraj Saad San, informed the court that the NMA contacted the security agency and indicated that the medical report was not ready for presentation. He therefore applied for a week's adjournment to enable the medical board to conclude its assessment. The application for an adjournment was not opposed by Kanu'S legal team, which was led by Dr. Onyechi Ikwazu-san. Consequently, Justice Omotosho deferred the submission of the report till the next adjourned date. The Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC) has condemned what it described as another disturbing act of vandalism on Lagos-Ibadan Standard Gauge Rail Corridor. The incident occurred between Agege and Agbado stations, where unidentified persons allegedly tampered with critical signaling components used in coordinating train movements. According to a statement by the corporation's Chief Public Relations Officer, Mr. Callistus Unyimadu, the vandalized items include the removal of signal machine cap protectors and the cutting of connection cables on switch point machine number 2. The damage was discovered during a routine inspection on Monday, October 6, 2025. The corporation expressed strong disapproval of the act, warning that such sabotage poses grave safety risks to passengers and staff while threatening the efficiency of train operations. He added that security agencies have been notified and talks with investigating and apprehending those behind the act. Reiterating its commitment to safe and reliable rail service nationwide, the NRC urged members of the public, especially communities located along railway corridors, to remain vigilant and promptly report any suspicious activities around railway infrastructure. ComfortTV.channel news returns shortly with business, foreign and sports news. Many thanks for staying tuned. This is ComfortTV.channel news. On business news, revenue generated from rail transport rose by 37.36% year-on-year to 2.724 billion naira in the first quarter of 2025 Q1 25 from 2.112 billion naira in the corresponding period of 2024 Q1 24. The sharp increase was driven by a 37.4% year-on-year increase in revenue from passenger transport to 1.95 billion naira in Q1 25 from 1.42 billion naira in Q1 24. Similarly, revenue from goods and cargo rose by 8.2% year-on-year to 657.03 million naira from 607.3 million naira in Q1 24. The National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) disclosed this in its rail transport data Q1 25. The NBS reported that in the first quarter of 2025, a total of 929,553 passengers traveled through the rail system, representing a 37.65% increase compared to the 675,293 passengers recorded in the corresponding quarter of 2024. It stated that the volume of goods and cargoes transported during the period stood at 181,520 tons, up from 160,650 tons recorded in the first quarter of 2024. According to the report, revenue from passengers amounted to 1.95 billion naira, showing a 37.36% increase from the 1.42 billion naira generated in the same quarter of the previous year. Similarly, the agency indicated that 657.03 million naira was earned from goods and cargoes conveyed, representing 8.19% rise from 607.32 million naira in Q1 2024. The NBS further noted that other receipts totaled 115.68 million naira in Q1 2025, reflecting a significant 355.39% increase from the 25.40 million naira received in the corresponding period of 2024. Still on business, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has announced that Nigeria's non-interest capital market has grown to 1.6 trillion naira, reflecting rising investor confidence in expanding participation in ethical finance. Director General of the SEC, Dr. Emomotimi Agama, disclosed this in Abuja during a press briefing ahead of the 7th African International Conference on Islamic Finance (AICIF) scheduled for next month in Lagos. The conference, jointly organized by the SEC Metropolitan Law Firm and Metropolitan Skills Limited, is themed Africa Emerging, a Prosperous and Inclusive Outlook. It aims to position ethical finance as a catalyst for building a resilient and inclusive African economy. Dr. Agama described the event as timely, aligning with the conclusion of the revised Nigerian Capital Market Master Plan 2021 to 2025. He said the forum would chart a new phase of sustainable financial development across Africa. He revealed that Sukuk continues to dominate the non-interest market, with the latest issuance oversubscribed by over 700%, underscoring investors' confidence in ethical financial instruments. Dr. Agama highlighted that the new Investment and Security Act (ISA) 2025 has strengthened the legal framework for non-interest financial products, empowering the SEC to register collective investment schemes and expand available instruments. The AICIF 2025, he added, will feature high-level discussions on infrastructure, green and ethical investments, agricultural financing, and fintech's role in transforming Islamic finance. AICIF chairperson and Metropolitan Law Firm's managing partner, Umahani Amin, said the conference has become one of Africa's leading gatherings promoting innovation, integrity, and sustainable growth in Islamic finance. On the foreign scene, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has characterized recent airspace violation and infrastructure incidents as a coordinated Russian hybrid warfare campaign against the EU. Addressing the European Parliament in Strasbourg, she warned that these actions aim to destabilize European unity and test the bloc's resolve regarding Ukraine support. President von der Leyen told members of the European Parliament that recent events constitute a coherent and escalating campaign to unsettle citizens, test resolve, divide the Union, and weaken its support for Ukraine. Her comments referenced multiple incidents across several EU nations involving unidentified drone flights that have prompted temporary airspace closures and heightened security alerts. Russian authorities have consistently denied involvement in these activities. In response to the perceived threat, Brussels has advanced plans to establish a drone wall along the EU eastern borders. Danish European Affairs Minister Marie Viger, representing the EU presidency, joined in condemning the unacceptable actions targeting Polish, Romanian, and Estonian airspace. She called for a clear, united, and resolute European response, emphasizing the need to send a strong message to Russia, stating that Europe, stood united, was committed to defending its security and will continue supporting Ukraine. They also stressed the importance of adopting a pan-European approach to address security challenges extended beyond the bloc's eastern frontier. Foreign scene, 6 people were killed and a few others injured after a fire broke out in a firecracker manufacturing unit in the southern state of Andhra Pradesh on Wednesday. A state government minister, Mr. Lokesh Nara, confirmed that the incident took place in the state's Konaseema district and that a probe has been ordered. Confirming the death toll, he said that instructions had been given to officials to make all necessary arrangements to ensure that the injured receive better medical care. He emphasized the government's commitment to providing timely assistance and ensuring that emergency services were mobilized to support victims and their families. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi described the incident as deeply saddening, expressing his sympathy and concern for those affected. He said his thoughts were with the victims and their families during this difficult time, adding that he was praying for the speedy recovery of the injured. The Prime Minister also assured that all possible measures will be taken to assist those impacted by the tragedy, reaffirming the government's dedication to standing by the affected communities and providing every necessary form of relief and support. In sports, the European Club Association, representing the continent's biggest sides, has rebranded as European Football Clubs (EFC). Chaired by Paris Saint-Germain President Nasser Al-Khelaifi, the EFC brings together more than 800 clubs from 55 countries and is recognized by European and global governing bodies UEFA and FIFA. The EFC said that over the last 2 years it had more than tripled its membership and claimed it had played a leading role in enhancing competition formats to increase the number of clubs playing in European and international competitions. While players have criticized the increasing number of fixtures in an already packed calendar, the EFC supported FIFA in the creation of the revamped money-spinning Club World Cup. Chelsea won the tournament, beating PSG 3-0 in the final in New Jersey in July. Earlier in the week, UEFA approved the staging of a Spanish La Liga and an Italian Serie A match in the United States and Australia, respectively. In the brilliant return to the ring, Bolton boxer Osman Aslam showcased his impressive skills by defeating Mufu Yusuf at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena in Lagos, Nigeria. Osman Aslam knocked Yusuf down in the third round, leading to a stoppage by the referee and extending his unbeaten record to an impressive 15-0 with 8 victories by way of knockout. After a 4-year break from competitive boxing, Aslam's comeback is exciting news for Bolton's fight scene. The victory in Lagos marks a significant milestone in the 31-year-old's career. The event was organized by Amir Khan Promotions and broadcast live on global sports platform. Aslan is already scheduled for another fight on December 19 back in Nigeria and is seeking local sponsors to support his comeback bout. Accompanied Aslam on the trip were his coaching team Alex Matvienko, founder and head coach at Elite Boxing Gym with Gazward and Kurt Haslam. While in Nigeria, the elite team were also reunited with Taiwo Agbaje, ranked 38 in the world, and a former coach at Elite in Halliwell between 2021 and 2024. He had a sensational second-round stoppage win against the big punching 7-0 undefeated opponent, who had 7 knockout victories under his belt. The win takes Agbaje's record to 18 wins, 13 by way of knockout. And that's our news bulletin for today. But before we go, here is a recap of our top stories. Interpol nabs Nigerian in Argentina over multiple romance scams. Property owners petition President Tinubu over Lagos-Calabar coastal highway demolition. Senate President Akpabio swears in new senators. Federal government begins final phase of negotiations with ASU. NMA panel reports stalls Nnamdi Kanu'S trial. NRC condemns vandalism of signaling equipment of Lagos-Ibadan rail corridor. And business rail revenue rises 37.36%, 2.72 billion naira in Q1 25. On the foreign scene, EU's von der Leyen accuses Russia of hybrid warfare campaign. And on sports, European Club Association rebrands as European Football Clubs. Thanks for watching. For breaking news, exclusive interviews and more, follow us online at ComfortTV.channel on all platforms. Remember to like and share our videos, subscribe to our channel, and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any updates. I am Faith Kevin. Until next time, stay informed, stay connected.